Let's see. Arf? The fuck? There we go. Interesting. This is on backwards. Whoops. There we go. It's like the wire is cutting across my chest. That doesn't seem right. Duh. Okay, cool. With the music alone, these sound levels look good. Wonderful. I will take it. What is this? Oh, the pastor. Nope. Tales of the Tears. Has mixed reviews. Hey, Zero. How's it going? And Eevee? Ah, it's your Eevee. It's a sad Eevee. Why's that Eevee so sad? Oh, man. Because no Desi. I barely started. I'm sure Desi will show up eventually. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, you know, we'll see. But it's been 3 minutes already. It's been 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and start up a new game. Hard difficulty is suited for veteran players of isometric RPGs such as Space Eternity, who are looking for a challenge. Survival requires micromanagement and optimization of stats through items, spells, and abilities. Enemy AI is more efficient and uses abilities more frequently. What's the path of the damned difficulty? Enemies receive a bonus to most stats, have the most efficient AI, and will very frequently use abilities. Party members take more wounds during combat and when being knocked out. This difficulty level can only be chosen when starting a new game. Nope. I'll go with hard. Expert mode. Trial of Iron, which is 1 save. Fuck no. Hey. How's it going, Nox? What you up to? New Game Plus allows you to import your character from previous saves, which don't have. There we go. Tyranny. I like how they're... Where's Lord Farquaad in this? I don't see him, but I know he's here.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spymaster and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Yeah, no, the art style is... I like the art style as well. I think it's one of my favorite art styles. How's it going, guys? Hi, Zira. In Jiffy. What are y'all up to? Peak physical condition or open dad bod? You have ice cream. What kind of ice cream? Tell me. Gotta be as wide as possible. It's just my role. Hold on. Do they have... They have handlebar. And they have chops. Wait, wait, wait. Yeah! They have it! I was like the red mutton stash. I gotta have it. Just always a fan of it. I think it works. Oh man. Ooh, that's pretty good. Pretty sure your jaw is infected? Arf? Why? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Ung. Running sideways is cutting into my cheek. Ugh! Got a dentist appointment on Thursday. Man, they're gonna give you some good fucking painkillers. Yikes. Wisdom teeth are fucking awful. Can you imagine, like, how cavemen had to deal with that? They just had, like, go to a friend and be like, and have their friend, like, grab a rock and just smash their across their fucking skull until it came out. Also, how do sound levels sound? Are the sound levels okay? I know that the music is a little bit loud in my ears, but I don't know for you guys. Game is a bit loud? Okay. I'll have to add that in options here in a bit, but what I can do for right now is reduce in OBS. So, where it's at... Yeah, no, because my voice already goes up into the yellow shown on OBS, which means that it's close to peaking, which actually means that it's it's at a good point. So what I want to do is keep the desktop audio from going into the, from matching that level or going into the red. This is why I said. I was lucky. My my wisdom teeth ended up growing in basically just fine. Basically. Of course, you know. There's always room for error to happen. Oh god. It looks so dumb with life. All of these faces are so intense. We'll go with that one.
That wasn't so hard. Moving cautiously. I must rest soon.
It's pretty good.
See that? Flawless.
I'm thinking warrior.
Something every day.
Like, I mean, I'm not the only one that when you see a mutton stash, you gotta think warrior, right? Like, this has been ingrained within my soul. It's like, mutton stash, that man is clearly a fighter. You want to play Curse of Strahd? Or, sorry, not Curse of... Fucking, I just autofill Curse of whatever with Strahd. Curse of the Crimson Throne. That's fair. Look in the mirror? Yeah, I'm a warrior through and through. What are you talking about? He's clearly a fucking badass mage that gives no fucks. You know what? Here's what we'll do. Hi, Nunus. Hi, Nunus. Hi, Nunus. Here's what we'll do. I'm setting up a thing right now. Wait, what the fuck did I just do? I don't know. I'm just being dumb. There we go. That's what I wanted. Whoever is willing to spend 50,000 wood coins will be allowed to choose things of which that I decide. That's all. That's all that I'm setting up. I want to play my depressed gay werewolf. Okay, so there we go. For how they look, there's no deciding on that. Like, he is looking this way. Dad bod with an amazing mutton stash and some elegant hair, absolutely. I'll come back for the picture later. Okay, guys. Let's see. Pit fighter, hunter, guild apprentice, noble sign. By the way, how much points does everyone have? Because I presume 50,000 is like manageable for most of you, considering some of you are in like the million or close to like millions. You have 7.8k, you have 89.9k. Okay, maybe I should reduce it. Maybe 50,000 is a bit much. Hold on. We'll say 10,000. You know, that way it's not something someone can just jump in and be like, can you name this character the N-word? It's like, no. God, no. Okay. 10,000. If you're willing to spend 10,000, you could choose one customization option for this character. 10,000 wood coins allows you to choose a random, or, you know, some sort of customization. And I can go back and redo it, with the only exception being the appearance. The appearance has to stick. See, until points are spent, I'm just going about this my normal way. Okay, customization option. Zara, you have redeemed it. What do you want? What are you wanting? I should actually make it so that you can input something whenever you spend the wood coins. Or whenever you spend these wood coins. There we go. Now, okay. Now you can actually input something. Soldier? Okay. Unable to settle the year's accounts with grain, your parents offered you as a tithe to the Overlord instead. Seeing your first battles as a child, you've known all your life how to fight, how to stay calm at the sight of blood and disembowelment, and how to rely on your fellow warriors. Deemed smarter than the average killer, you were groomed for command and given an education in letters and numbers. With rumors of war, it seemed recruitment into the disfavored legion would be the obvious match for your skills. But the Archon of Justice is known to say that good iron is not used for sword, and good minds are not used for soldiers. Claimed by Tunon, you were instead drafted into the court of Fatebinders, where your martial skills were put to use in the enforcement of Kairos' law. Your wood coins are called wood points. Oh, whoops. I fucked up something then. No, it says wood coins. Does it say wood points for anyone else? Oh. Okay, cool. I didn't fuck up. Okay, soldier has been selected. And now you guys have something to actually save your coinage for. Primary expertise. I'm thinking just the good old sword and board. Yeah, sword and board is our primary expertise, man. Man, you look good. You beautiful bitch. Fucked up another joke. It happens. Let's see. And then I choose an ability. There's Shield Slam or Sunder. What does Sunder do? They're sundered for 20 seconds. Okay, but what does Sunder do? Or click for details. Crush, Pierce, and Slash Armor reduced by 5. Ah! Yeah, there we go. This one is Dazed for 20 seconds. Recovery increased by 50%. Recovery. Oh, so it means that if they have a recovery timer of 10 seconds, it'll take them 15. Imagine if you made Duke de Pouce. Unfortunately, the customization is not quite good enough for a Duke de Pouce. I'm feeling the Sunder. Because I think that, you know, increased damage is always nice. So I'm thinking Sunder. Okay, and then secondary expertise. We should probably get some form of range. What does atrophy do? Oh, okay. No, this could work out. Drain skills and attributes of your enemies, weakening their attacks and making them easier to kill. Yeah, no, this could work out. You know, basically just a fucking drain until we can just destroy them. Hi, Bugaboo. Vigor, granting bonuses to yourself and your allies. Okay. So I could be a buff myself, fuck everyone else. Or I could do debuff my enemies and fuck everyone else. These are the only two options. I like unarmed attacks is a thing? God, no, we ain't no monk. Do I have to have a staff equipped in order to do spells in this game? Oh, Lord, hold me in your big, strong arms. Lore, one-handed weapons, parry, athletics. I mean, I think this is looking good to me. Reduces their might and vitality, which I presume vitality will weaken their health. Yeah, we'll go with this. I'm interested to see how it goes. Character colors, reds. Nothing but reds. Okay, maybe that should be black. Wait. Actually, there are two factions. There are two factions. It was what, the Crimson Chorus and Purple People. I don't remember what they're called. But one thing that I am thinking about is doing a run through where I'm dedicated to one or the other. I think that could be fun. Alas, I wear red. Red is my favorite color. Name, I think I'll go with Murdoch. Murdoch is a character that I've had for a long while now. Or that I've recreated for a long while now. I remember I created them with in memory of what was his name? The voice actor for Zaid from Mass Effect, because he ended up dying, and he voiced a character in Final Fantasy named Murdoch. Or not Final Fantasy. What? Dragon Age. There we go. I say Final Fantasy. But he voiced a character in Dragon Age named Murdoch, who was this, beautiful bitch with a beautiful handlebar mustache. And he was like, my name's Murdoch. Goddamned Murdoch. So I've had this character for quite a while now, because the voice actor died in 2016 or something? Himbo hours. Love big, dumb, ugly orcs. You're not allowed to say that. That's racist now. Gotta remember that voice, I think. Maybe. Okay. So, obviously, I'm wanting to be the tank, but basically I'm wanting to act as a tank, but I'm also wanting to, I'm wanting to be the frontliner. I want this character to be the tank who can just, hold off the enemies, and then the magic is just going to act as a way of weakening them so that I can last longer. So that I can last longer in bed. 5% bonus to health. I like that. And will defense. Okay. I like how vitality is not recommended for me. Okay. Let's set vitality to a 14 so that we're starting off with an extra, amount of health. And then I actually want more in my wits and resolve than I do in my might and finesse. Ooh, armor deflection. What does armor deflection do? When a character is attacked and the hit result has been determined, the target's deflection percentage is checked. Deflection can reduce the attack by 1 hit result. Oh, well, actually, if that's the case, I'll put this as a 13. I can put this as a, oh man, every point is only 1 armor deflect. I see. Oh boy. Okay, noted. Attack and ability strength, 0 endurance defense. I've run a Ravenloft game for, like, what, 2 years now? Yeah. Of course, it's been on hold for a little bit. It'll probably be on hold for a bit longer. Oh, okay. Ravenloft. Yeah. Curse of Strahd, which, if we want to get technical, earlier editions called, earlier editions it was called Ravenloft. However, 5e, the name was changed to, the Shadowfell. Farquaad quads, yeah. I don't know if I want to focus design. Well, magic defense is really good. We'll go ahead and put 2 points into our wits for the extra magic defense. I don't know how useful spell strength is. But, you know, we're basically going to be going half and half with, like, or actually it's probably going to be like 3/4 towards might and towards our physical abilities, and then like 1/4 towards our magical abilities. So actually, let's with more focus on defense. So here, let's do that. 11 for might, so a bit more damage. Our finesse will give us some extra accuracy and a chance for armor deflection. Not a lot, but it's there. Vitality, just because health is great. The wits will give us some magic defense, and then our resolve, I believe resolve, well, resolve also affects magic defense. Oh, affliction duration. Actually, resolve is what I'm going to want. It also increases endurance. I don't know what endurance does. Endurance will, oh, I think endurance and wills are like saving throws. Yeah, so I am actually going to want to increase resolve more than wits. It's not as effective for magic defense, but it's still something, and it also increases what I believe are saving throws. So you know, it's good. What kind of game is this? Isometric RPG. Not biased. Let's see. Athletics, ability to traverse difficult terrain, as well as their ability to execute complicated moves in combat. Also used in dialogue to determine your ability to intimidate and physically overpower someone. Yeah, let's fucking boost that shit. Perfect. Maybe not that much. Lore was lore do. Ability to decipher information and put together clues from fragments of information. Also used in dialogue to determine history of the world. Nice. Parry. Parry is something I'm gonna want. Reduce damage from enemy attacks and may lead them to miss altogether. Magic. Magic staff, one-handed weapons. Again, atrophy is going to be a secondary for us. Basically, if I come across something cool, I'll put points towards, like, control atrophy and whatnot. And, you know, it'll be like, dedicate to it until I get it. Until then, though, it's more focused on the sword and board. Love Duke voices. Cool. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. What happened? Stabilize, you fool. Okay. It's stabilized. I don't know what happened there. That's about 856 frames. Okay, cool. Well, sorry about that. What am I missing, chat? What was going on? Anyways, we're all good to go. Conquest. Oh, we absolutely want to go through the conquest thing. Yeah, we gotta select our conquest options. Okay, guys. Okay.
All the world has fallen to Kairos. And now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
God, I love this art style.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors. Until it's too late.
Okay. Show me what's going on. During the conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how major factions of the Tears respond to you. Your decisions matter. Choose wisely. Also, everyone, you can see me now, right? Has everything fixed? Like everything's good? Yes? Okay, good. I'll be sure. The bastard city stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tears. But actually, this is a good chance for me to do my Murdoch voice. Built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between realms. The city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was the center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tears. Kairos will be unsurmountable. Infiltrate the Tears. Hi, Desi. Didn't see any issues, TBH. Wonderful. Feel like I'm gonna throw up. This tooth is killing me. Oofles. Let's see. Gates of Judgment. So again, I think it would be fun if basically I have this character dedicated to one of the factions, one side or the other. And, you know, basically deal with the consequences from there. So, there are 2 factions. There's the Scarlet Chorus, who is basically like, oh yeah, no, like, they're basically the main army. You know, they march through the lands, and basically it's like, you either fight for us, or we kill you. And then if they decide to fight for you, it's like, wonderful. This is great. So it's a lot of, like, much weaker individuals. Also, there we go. It's a lot of much weaker individuals, but, you know, it's the bulk of it. So you're gonna find a lot more humanity there. But I'm leaning towards the disfavored. I'm leaning towards the disfavored, as like So my thought process is this: the disfavored are like the elite warriors, and they're super like, high strung, and we are the elites. I think it would be fun to play that. You vote disfavored? I think disfavored would be fun. You're a warrior after all? Exactly. Okay. The armies of Kairos took the battle to the gates of judgment, trumpeting the opening call of the conquest of the Tears. The two armies, the disfavored and the Scarlet Corps, brought their distinctive sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to battle alongside the army whose approach best suited your strengths. Okay, hold on. What's this one? History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of the conquest, but the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The disfavored and the Scarlet Corps each had a plan to infiltrate the capital city. Which army did you join? Well, obviously, we just gotta jump right in there. Let's see. Standing shield to shield with Kairos. Kairos' iron-clad elite, you advanced on the mercenary army purchased by the nobles of the bastard city. The Legion wanted to send a message to the Tears that superior breeding and disciplined training would win the war. I just want to see the other. You rushed the chaotic mass of the Scarlet Corps, flanked the bastard city's army, and drove them to flee. Well, it's pretty straightforward. I like it, but, Who are we fighting? We're basically fighting the last independent area on this nation, wrote. So in Tyranny, you are not the good guy. You are not the, classic we are the hero. We are fighting with what is very clearly a tyrannical kingdom, and that has slowly been taking over this entire nation. Yeah. Meant in general. Okay, well. There we go. The bastard city learned too late that military is earned and never bought. The mercenary army quickly found themselves outclassed by the superior tactics and formation of the disfavored. Those few who lived to the end of the battle were rounded up, the weak executed and the strong enslaved, to haul the army's wagons on the journey south. To judge the enemy, the soldiers of the Tears fell by the hundreds, and Kairos' armies could not agree on how to handle what few survivors they dragged back to camp. Befitting your role, the commanders turned to you to decide the fate of those who occupied prison pens. There were only enough prisoners to support the plan of a single army, or feeding the host. Against the most optimistic projections, the disfavored and Scarlet Corps made short work of the local defense. They did so well that the armies quickly outpaced their supply caravans. Troops were plentiful, but food was scarce. They only had time to execute one plan to... Well, let's deal with the slaves, of course. We gotta, what are we doing? The disfavored needed slaves to hold their gear, dig latrines, and keep their pallets warm at night. You consigned the survivors of battle to their subservient role among Graven Ash's noble troops. There we go! We did it! Wounded and demoralized by prior defeat, the soldiers of the Tears put up minimal resistance to their new status in Kairos' military. The disfavored enjoyed the luxury of putting others to work, but didn't allow themselves to grow soft, turning away from menial duties and focusing instead on a rigorous training regimen that left them alert and eager for combat.
You gave the Tyr's slaves their first assignment, digging a mass grave outside the gates of judgment, where a cloud of flies marked the passage of Kairos' army. The armies of Kairos amassed around the bastard city, the first bastion of the Tyrs to fall. Both armies longed to storm the walled outpost, the Scarlet Corps howling for plunder, and the disfavored forming an unbreakable shield wall. Your prowess on the field of battle had carried them this far, but there was one more step before total victory. Both of the armies had inspired schemes to take the bastard city. Which did you support?
What? Oh. He's a crafting slut just like Sean. Okay, well, you know, that's the first thing I see when I turn my head. That's fair.
You joined the disfavored vanguard in a direct assault upon the city gates. No fortification would stand before the unstoppable legion.
What does this give me? Once per encounter. Ah, 4th edition stuff. 4th edition is the nice guys? Well, we ain't nice guys. Isn't this just like... Yeah, this is combining the two. We don't want that. We want to be assholes. Once per encounter, minus 50% damage for 12 seconds, and then plus 15% health every 3 seconds for... Wow. So basically with this, you'd be healing for 60% of your max health. Okay. Stand your ground in the face of defeat. During this time, you will regenerate health rapidly, but your damage is significantly reduced. Yeah, it's halved. I'll take it, though.
With heroic courage and legendary determination, the disfavored battered the gates of the bastard city to splinters. Those who fell under the consistent hail of arrows or cascades of boiling pitch left the battlefield temporarily, only to appear hours later as Archon graven ashes protection healed their numerous wounds. In time, the gates gave way, and Kairos' forces spilled inside the city walls, with resounding cheers of victory.
I didn't say that, Zero. The fuck?
The bastard city settled into a new state of normalcy. With every tower displaying Kairos' banner, your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into 2 fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier to Kairos' conquest. Either as judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex.
Well, obviously, we are a war advisor.
The troops of the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the bastard TFL. In the second year of war, a joint force of the disfavored and Scarlet Corps crossed over the mountains to take control of the Tyr Central Valley.
Welcome back, Annis. 429 TR. I'm doing good.
The mountain nation of Apex, ruled for generations by the queen of House Vendrian, stood at the heart of the Tyrs. No army could bypass the landlocked realm without leaving their flank exposed to attack. By the second year of the war, the disfavored and Scarlet Corps had pushed deep into the Tyrs. Elements of both armies were dispatched to conquer Apex. Tunon assigned you to accompany them, tasked with bringing Kairos' law to the territory, as well as keeping an eye on both armies.
Denial of Strength or the Battle of Edgaring Pass. Well, this is a battle, so we're probably going to choose it.
The disfavored sent their most destructive ally to crush Edgaring Fort. Can, Archon of Stone, buried the stronghold under an avalanche triggered from the surrounding mountains. The Scarlet Corps would promise capture enemies for recruitment, yet none survived the onslaught. The chorus demanded compensation.
Fuck no.
Or denial of strength. A school of water mages loyal to the Tiersmen posed a substantial threat. The disfavored wished to annihilate the school, while the Scarlet Chorus insisted on capturing the mages, wishing to learn their craft.
Oh, you know, this one.
You congratulate the disfavored for taking the pass without risking the lives of Kairos' most loyal servants. At this stage of the campaign, it was vital to use any advantage that would mitigate any losses.
Okay, what's the other one?
You side with the disfavored. Old mages had the chance to surrender before the war.
Nah, we'll be a part of the battle.
The Scarlet Chorus claims were insignificant compared to the lossless victory. You congratulated the disfavored and encouraged the Scarlet Chorus to better value their soldiers' lives, a suggestion that gang bosses took worse than the original offense. Vowing to remember this, the slighted army returned to sulk, if not lick their wounds.
You like Animal Crossing, Desi? This is fair. I'm glad. Swords of the Fallen or the Marriage Bed Armistice.
Scarlet Corps soldiers were seen wearing disfavored gear, supposedly taken from those who fell in battle. The disfavored were outraged, citing tradition that their armor passed only to next of kin within the army. In a debate of tradition versus practicality, you had to rule in favor of one army over another.
Or
the enemy readied for a peacetime festival as Kairos' forces armed for battle. The disfavored paid no mind to the southern custom and planned to attack the Vendrian forces during their annual celebration. The Scarlet Chorus insisted on a day of non-violence. As former Tiersmen, many could grasp the decency of a temporary reprieve.
fuck no. Nobody gets to a reprieve, not even on holidays. Just gotta let him know this is true.
You sided with the disfavored commander and paid no homage to this bygone custom, interrupting a cultural pastime and slaughtering your way through non-combatants.
Hell yeah.
The disfavored marched on the realm of Apex, setting fire to decorations and putting any brave revelers to the sword. The Scarlet Chorus sat out the battle in uncharacteristic respect, earning the ire, confusion, and amusement of the voices of Nerat. You contented yourself in knowing that the Tiers must submit to Kairos, and no indulgence would be made for uncooperative foes. The fall of Apex. Pleased by your support of the disfavored battle plan, the Archon of War selected you for a vital mission, to meet with the enemy and negotiate a surrender, allowing Kairos' forces to declare victory and move onward. How did you orchestrate the surrender of the enemy? Through days of mediation, you negotiated the surrender of the valley to Kairos' forces, putting an end to the further bloodshed.
Oh, that's boring. What's theirs?
Taunting the Queen of Apex into striking you under a banner of truce. You baited the Queen of Apex into a duel and slew her, frightening her vassals into submission.
Damn. That's awesome. Well. Oh. Nope. Cancel that. Cancel. I just want to see. Oh. Duke, I love you. I love you too. Well, you know, I guess we're siding with, these guys, so.
Your former enemies were loath to part with their lands, but they were even more reluctant to continue a war they were losing at every turn. The Tiersmen are a stubborn lot, and despite their grim situation, it still took days of discussion and diplomacy to show them the madness of tenacity. On the third day of mediation, the rulers of Apex finally submit to your terms of surrender, putting an end to the war in the valley, and freeing up Kairos' forces to march deeper into the Tiers.
I like this little board game thing that they got going on.
The land of Apex finally rested in the hands of Kairos' forces. The Scarlet Corps paused to revel in victory, while the disfavored prepared for the next fight, affording themselves but an evening rest. Kairos' armies radiated out from the conquered citadel and worked their way across the tiers. The disfavored and Scarlet Corps aimed to dominate as much territory as possible in the coming year. Your distinguished reputation in Kairos' military left the choices of your next destination yours to make.
Vellum Citadel.
Kairos' conquering gaze fell upon the Vellum Citadel, its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets.
Azure.
Kairos dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Azure.
Okay.
With the easily defeated position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm of the tiers.
Obviously! We gotta go take them out. Gotta show them that they ain't shit!
The realm of Stalwart was best known for its proud army, disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on their home soil. Skill and resolve made Stalwart a military power that Kairos forces approached with due caution. With its southern position, Stalwart had been largely safe from war, watching for 2 years as its neighbors fell to Kairos' forces. On the dawn of the third year of war, Kairos' forces were finally poised to invade the Stalwart Peninsula and subdue the tier's most vaunted army.
Marching on empty or contentious setback?
After a defeat at the hands of enemy defenders, the Scarlet Corps accused the disfavored of recklessness. The disfavored claimed the Scarlet Corps brought too few soldiers to cover their flanks. Both armies refused to march until you gave a rolling.
Or, marching on empty.
The stalwart defenders burned their crops as they retreated, leaving the invaders little to forage. Starving, the Scarlet Corps mob raided from the disfavored's well-maintained supply lines, incurring casualties on both sides.
Duke, I love you. I love you too, Desi. The turtle can be pardoned? What turtle? The fuck are you talking about?
You heard that the thieving Scarlet Corps soldiers be spiked for their front.
Or,
knowing the disfavored's reputation for discipline, as well as the Scarlet Corps' power to instill fear and frenzy, you decide that the Scarlet Corps was in the wrong.
yeah, duh. Of course they were in the wrong.
The Scarlet Corps were nonplussed to receive such censure, but aghast that the disfavored would not share in the blame. Soldiers hurled venomous accusations your way, challenging your impartiality and wondering where justice could be found. If not in Toulon's fate binder, they argued that reputation should have no bearing on law.
Fair. Something that happened earlier, Duke. Oh, okay. Negative conscription.
Scarlet Corps soldiers were spotted fighting alongside the stalwart defenders. The voices of Nerat insisted they were spies enlisted to gauge the army's weaknesses and sow discontent. The disfavored accused the soldiers of treason, demanded bloody reprisal. The contentious armies sought your ruling on the matter.
Or a fall of regents.
The armies of Kairos collaborated on the capture of an enemy leader. The Scarlet Corps requested that she be interrogated by the Archon of Secrets. The disfavored wished to display her corpse in battle. Since the stalwart defenders refused to surrender, a gesture was needed to instill fear.
Anger up.
You ordered the enemy commander executed, a body displayed as a warning for those who would defy the Overlord. The stalwart regent made for a grim display, lashed to ribbons and suspended on a disfavored standard. Yet the effect on the battlefield was immediate. The sight caused an uproar among stalwart soldiers, who broke formation in their frenzy to answer blood for blood. The disfavored hewed through their disorganized ranks with minimal difficulty, and cherished the corpse as the most useful recruit to Kairos' army yet. The Edict of Storms. The disfavored carved a slow, steady path into the heart of Stalwart and surrounded the enemy's massive fortress. With the main bulk of their forces defeated, the enemy leadership retreated to their mighty fortress, content to wait out the war. The Overlord answered their impudence with an Edict of Storms on the peninsula. A devastating spell that would endure for as long as the cowardly hearts of Stalwart's leaders persisted in beating. Knowing you had the trust of Graven Ashtunon, deemed you the proper representative to deliver Kairos' edict. Aside from being given a 3-day window to read the edict, you received no other instruction. Agreeing with the wishes of the disfavored, you proclaimed the edict at once, leaving the enemy no time to react. Stalwart had ample opportunity to surrender for several years. The time for mercy was long gone. You agreed with the disfavored rationale. The leaders of Stalwart had refused honorable battle, and too many disfavored lives were lost in the campaign. Since the last regent refused to leave the keep, you would let him watch as his people suffered. Without hesitation or regret, you broke the seal of Kairos' Edict of Storms and read the Overlord's incantation.
I disagree, Duke Merle. Yes.
The Edict of Storms. The clear skies darkened as you read the final words of the edict. A flurry of wind and rain whipped through the rolling plains and craggy canyons, turning rocks, uprooted trees, and hapless soldiers into hazardous shrapnel. Armed with a measure of foresight, you were able to remove yourself from the area before the storms grew more violent. Over time, nearby communities told of cyclones consisting of thousands of soldiers worth of limbs, spears, armor, and skulls. What's more, the weather showed no signs of dissipating. Several units of disfavored, who fought the enemy in spite of the advancing storm, were caught up in the Overlord's magic. The few survivors regrouped and nursed their wounds. Their failure to topple the stalwart legion shamed them into believing the dead more fortunate. The name Stalwart fell from use. People took to calling it the Blade Grave for the remade landscape festooned with the iron and bronze armaments of two once great legions. As Kairos' forces departed, you spared a glance back at the ruins of Stalwart, marveling at your work. You didn't have long to rest before Tunon called you into service once more.
Cool. I can't wait to see how this affects us. You've reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you want to continue or erase progress to start over? Nah, we're good. Desi, you still haven't told me what you disagree with.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Okay. Only an hour of character creation. Not bad if I do say so myself. Fatebinder Murdoch, I presume. We've been expecting you. First things first, let me go into sound. Reduce this to probably like a 30. Yeah, that seems to be good. I think. Aurora. Kairos, the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. Would you fuck a dragon that was polymorphed into a human? Like, are they an attractive human? Then sure. Why not? You know, make a nice, like, half-dragon baby. It'll be fun. Can be like, oh, son! You're a half-dragon! Ha ha ha! You little idiot! Always want to gather loot, you little rapscallion. Here's a copper. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlets to her,
The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her legion.
I bid you a welcome return to Vendrian's Well. The attitude is still dizzying and the locals still revolting, doubly so this time around, so they've pissed on the that peace accord you offered them. Edgaring Pass is still as you remember it. I was hoping to have the warriors celebrate your return with a proper feast, but I'm told you have places to be.
Yeah, probably.
I'd fuck a dragon. Yep, of course that brings you back. Hi, Desi.
Can you hear that hum in the air? That glow around the rocks. That avalanche is Kairos' magic. The Overlord has sealed the valley.
Your senses see more than mine, good Fatebinder. I do not pretend to know much about such things, but if that was Kairos' magic and you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon of Secrets to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague? An edict of twisted bones?
I come bearing an edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task or die.
The edict is leveled against us?
Eyes widen with fear. My posture slackens.
But the Scarlet Chorus prevents us from taking action. Why would the Overlord punish both of us?
She clears her throat with a sigh.
Forgive me, it is not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. The delay reflects poorly on all of us.
Yeah, it does.
What would I do if what?
Your first instinct is to blame the Scarlet Chorus. No wonder Kairos resorts to an edict to enforce an order.
Yes, well,
Her eyes shift to the side.
there has indeed been little goodwill between our armies, and you are right. When we act as we do, what choice do we give the Overlord?
She takes a deep breath, nodding as she exhales.
And you are right. I should not cast blame so freely, especially not when talking to a servant of justice. My apologies. Well, you've traveled a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you at...
Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm.
Do you hear that? More runners. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers through the mountains to gather help from outside the valley.
She points over to the collapsed path by which you arrived.
But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good time.
Sure.
I too have a sword and shield. Okay, so space in order to do a thing. Let's do a touch of atrophy on this individual. Possible real-time combat system. Combat. Oh, I never changed the picture. Whatever. Hit, critical hit, graze, and miss. Okay. I believe I'm picking up what's being put down. This motherfucker. Let's sunder him. Yeah. I don't know if that did anything, but we'll see. God damn, this dude is beefy. Thrust, 11 and 15 slashing. Okay.
Will do.
This dude is beefy. He does not give a dick. If one of your D&D players called the Monster Manual the Book of Boyfriends, I mean, you know, that's already happened before. Let's weaken him once again. It was Nox wasn't it? I'm not saying. But yes. I swear this... It feels like I'm doing jack shit. My god, that hurt. Please. Please die. Actually, I'm getting behind you. I just want to make sure I'm safe. Also, sound. It's good now, right? It's not bad? You guys aren't deafened anymore?
Right. On it.
We did it. That's one down. Let's check for... That motherfucker took us on with such little issue for so long. Oh, we leveled up, did we? Talent point. Leadership, defense, power, agility, ranged, and magic. With each level, you gain 1 point to purchase a talent from any of these categories. Within the talent tree, each tier of... Okay, I see. Ah, this is where it's at. Okay. Ah, power talent tree. I see. You're a tank, Duke. I know I'm a tank. I'm a debuff tank. That motherfucker, you don't do damage, you mitigate it. The motherfucker, what, still, it doesn't change the fact that we were doing like 1 and 2 damage. That dude is more of a tank than we are. Let's see. An aggressive stance that focuses on rapid strikes. Okay. Aggressive stance that focuses on powerful strikes to penetrate the foe's armor. Adds armor penetration to the thrust ability and increases its accuracy. Oh, okay. No. I see. This is the number of things that we have in here. Okay. I gotcha. Ah, it's combining of different sigils in order to make different spells. Okay. Yeah. We should be vigilant and deal with the remaining Oathbreakers in the pass.
This seems like a suicide mission. What did the Venturing God hope to accomplish?
From what we've learned from the other prisoners, the runners are instructed to escape the valley and drum up support for the Oathbreakers, because elsewhere in Oathbreakers cause elsewhere in the tiers. Or
Aurora shrugs.
I don't know who they think will listen to their pleas. We smashed every army fortress and self-proclaimed ruler these low-born tiersmen have to offer. Perhaps they think the wild beasts will rally to their side?
Perhaps if you had more thoroughly destroyed these tiersmen, we wouldn't be having this current problem.
Oh, ooh, okay. That's my bad. I accidentally earned some wrath with the disfavored. Let's make sure that we don't do that. Well, perhaps we'd have put all these fools to the axe, but some Fatebinder got the addled notion of convincing the locals to surrender. And look where we are now.
She shakes her head, holding back a chuckle.
Of course, Graven Ash and his inner circle were all suggesting peace talks back in the day. Suppose hindsight makes a fool of us all.
I've been traveling for days. How much longer until I reach the Archons?
You're almost to your destination. Once we clear the pass of the enemy, just head south down the foothills. From there, should just be a matter of hours to the encampment.
Carry on.
I'll just push this boulder. Oh, I killed them. Would strength will also work? Hells yeah, it will. Misses. Okay. Then we'll sunder them. There we go.
Will do.
Okay, this is more correct. We're actually doing like at least 8 damage. Oh, that guy's gonna cleave. Let's stand behind him.
Will do.
Can we do this? There we go.
On it.
Okay, we miss with our sunder. That's fine.
Will
And let's
do.
thrust. I'm sure this is doing something. Okay, so these guys are just tanks. Also, he's badly injured, but he's not dead, so, you know, I think everything's fine over there.
Will do.
There we go. Sundered him, then we thrust. Does extra damage. Beautiful. Sun Soldier's Javelin. I guess we'll take it. Don't bother me. Go down to the Pass Drastus.
Go down to the pass. Drastus. The soldier clutches his gut and winces. You can see a hint of entrails between his fingers. You're wounded. It's not trivial. He laughs through clenched teeth. This, but a scratch. I've seen twice as worse 10 times over. He doubles over in pain, gagging and shivering. If you'll let me help. I said I'm fine. The soldier moans and shakes his head. Graven Ash protects us. You go on and help the others.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Ooh, a dead body. They got waking death on them. Whatever that is. It's a revival mushroom. It's our Phoenix Down. Look! A person.
Try and catch me, worm.
A young Scarlet Fury waves around the Vendrian Guard attackers. Avoiding their weapons with fluid grace, she nods to acknowledge you. A breathless enemy passes a glance to her countrymen. This one's crazy, too! This one's crazy. Too much lead in her water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Fate Finder. Here at last. Here to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery.
She nods to the armed soldiers bearing down on her. That depends, who are you?
Are you serious? I came to escort you to camp when... Damn it! Kill first, questions later.
She narrowly ducks a swipe from a Vendrian blade.
Sounds like you could use some of my help.
No water lily, but I'd welcome an extra blade.
Gain fear with verse. I don't know if that's good or not, but I'll take it. For the realm of Apex charge! The Vendrian Guard level their weapons and advance.
To battle!
Oh, okay. I see. So you're an ally. What does this do?
We can do this!
Do a thing, damn it! I don't know what's going on. Ah, okay. I see. Okay. It's a team-up attack. Okay. I guess skewer that individual. We'll thrust this guy since they're close to dead. Or not. Or they'll die.
Blood.
Fire spear. Or burning iron. Oh, that works. That worked well.
Will
I'll take
do.
it.
On it.
And debuff. Debuff. Yeah! Fuck him up. We did it.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's tent.
That is crazy, Nightbot. That is very crazy. That quote makes me sad because it's about me. The fighter surveys a fresh corpse and nods with
I'm
satisfaction.
Verse, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian Guard we killed didn't come alone.
She gestures to the skirmish unfolding in the pass below, shaking her head.
Why are the Vendrian Guard attacking now?
I guess. The Vendrian Guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That, or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall.
You fight like a storm. What's your role in the army?
A Scarlet Fury, one of the elite killers of our ignoble gang. You'll see more than a few of us around camp, but don't let that fool you. We're a rare breed. Most of the soldiers in the Scarlet Chorus are little more than farmers and children armed with rusted forks. Makes them easier to control. The voices of Narat called his best fighters to this siege. There must be something important about Vendrian's well, though don't ask me what. The Archon isn't in the habit of spilling secrets.
Not so fast. First explain what you're doing
The voices
here.
of Narat told me to intercept you at Edgering Ruins before you busied yourself solving all of the camp's problems. Guess I was too late. You're due for a meeting with the Archons, but we should handle the small matter of this ambush first.
I'm ready if you are.
Eager. I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
You should honor your fallen, not pillage them.
If they deserved my praise, they'd be standing here taking orders. As it is, they're dead and I'm alive. The beating of my heart is celebration enough. Apparently you haven't spent enough time in the front lines, or you'd know that.
Damn.
For the voices of Narat!
Varys furrows her brow and focuses down on the battle to come. Oh. Let's go inventory. What all do we have? Okay, Rogue's Leathers. This gives me 3 armor. Oh, no. Sorry. Well, actually, this does still give me more armor. Sure. Oh, man. It looks like I'm wearing a onesie now. Oh, boy. Ah, party stash. Okay, I see. Well, this can go to you. What does it do? 5% deflection, recovery, and more accuracy. Okay. And then Scarlet Fury boots. Sure. Would your boots... No. Okay. Onesies are cute. I don't know about that. I'd wear one around the house. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yes, Desi, what's up? Oh, she's level 2. She just gets to start out or start up at level 2. My goodness. Tarkus Demos. Eyes forward, no looking back. The Vendrian Guard warriors roar with his falx held high, his words largely lost over the din of combat. What's a falx? Enduring symbol of military life in the tiers. Ah. You! As his attention lands on you, a double take of recognition comes over the man's face. The Peacebinder from the war. If you've come to once again talk peace, it seems you're too late.
Drop your weapon. Perhaps we can settle this without bloodshed.
We knew that violating the surrender meant an end to what little mercy and goodwill Kairos' forces have or ever will show us. Now there's no turning back. I need to just go full evil. That's what I need to do. I need to go full evil except towards the purple people. He shakes his head with a frown. I know you tried to do right by us in the past, but now you're between us and the way out. Nothing personal. Fatebinder, did I hear that correctly? Maybe you understood why we're here. As he signals his men to charge, the sound of chanting rises from the south, drawing his attention. Scarlet Chorus reinforcements, hurry! Mocking blaze.
Run down the Oathbreakers. Let none escape.
From the red mob of reinforcements from the south, a blood chanter emerges at the head of the rabble, the ornamental crest of her staff pulsing with crimson tones. Signing sigils of magic and wordlessly moving her mouth, the blood chanter scribes a series of spells into the air. A red glow surrounds the Vendrian Guard warriors as the chanter's magic worms its way into their minds, blinding them with rage.
Hold positions, all of you! You there, keep to the path! The warriors gesture along the canyon trail, but his soldiers turn their attention to the Scarlet Chorus, roaring challenges. No, don't engage them! We need to run! His orders falling on deaf ears, the warrior reluctantly readies his weapon. Well, here I go killing again. Let's start off strong with that, that ability. Any command in this issue will affect both. Okay.
It's up to that company.
Fire a bolt at them. I want to get between these two so that they're focused on me. There we go.
Right.
You can focus him. I should be able to kill this person. Then I can change my attention back to this Bastion fellow. Good night, you dudes. Have a good night, Bugaboo. Take care of yourself. Pleasant dreams and all that. Come quick! We have a situation on the cliffside. They have the commander. Oh boy. Ooh, a shield. That is all mine. Sun Soldier's shield will give me plus 11 parry, 11 dodge, and 6 endurance. That's some good stuff. Oh, and a person over here. What do they got? Honor Guard's Bronze Falcons. Is it two-handed? It is a two-handed. Well, into the party stash. Phalanx, one-handed. Nah, we're all about that sword and board. Wait. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, me dumb. Oh, okay. Alt for tab to see things around me. There we go. An agate. Venturing guard heavy bronze greaves. All mine. All mine. Give me that armor. It's all mine. .5 armor. Yep. I lose some deflection, some disengagement defense, but that should be fine. Yo, what's going on? Cat softest. Stow your weapons or we find out how long a man screams before hitting the ravine down below. Cornered between a precipitous drop and a band of angry soldiers, the Oathbreaker warrior holds a disfavored officer at knife point. Skewer him. Worry not. Skewer him. Worry not for me. Graven Ash will protect me. The disfavored officer winces, blood seeping from the seams of his bracers and cuirass. You heard the man. He plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from your pimp? This blade. With a jerk of the knife, he slices off a clump of Drastus's matted hair. If you're so eager to see your ally dead, just step closer. Obviously, we gotta go for the athletics check. Lower your weapon, then charge forward and wrest the knife from him. I'm down. Let's do it. Gain favor with the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus. That's crazy. And more athletics experience. The Oathbreaker cracks a wide smile as you lower your weapon.
That's right. Now, the rest of you, drop those weapons.
With his attention on the other warriors, you dash forward. He reaches out with his dagger to slay Drastus, but your hand is already on his wrist. With a wrenching twist, you mangle his hand, dropping the dagger harmlessly to the ground. The disfavored warriors rush forward from either side of you. Tyrell barely manages a strained gasp before being hacked and impaled upon their swords and spears.
Kairos be praised. That Oathbreaker fought with the rage of Khan himself.
Drastus slides a trembling hand along the cut on his neck.
Thank you, Fatebinder. I thought today was my last. From the look of it, guess they thought if they swarmed the pass, maybe one might make it out. They found a few scraps of parchment on the bodies.
Drastus holds out a handful of crumpled parchments for your inspection.
A student of letters such as yourself should be able to make sense of this.
Ah. Time spent reading and writing is, after all, time not spent sparring and readying one's body. Examine the parchment. Repeating the same messages in different written scripts, the parchment explains the Vendrian Guard's desire to overthrow Kairos' Archons and rout their armies from the tiers. The pages aren't addressed to any specific reader, but rather openly invites all who remain loyal to the younger realms to gather at Vendrian's Well.
Recruitment material. They'll try and bring more traitors to the fight. Well, from the look of it, we kept them from slipping out of the valley. Whatever they hope to accomplish, I think their plan died here. The Archons are expecting you. When you're ready, leave by the gate to the southeast and follow the trail downslope for a few hours. You'll see the campfires leagues away. Can't miss it.
Loot the body. Quick finger bangles. Haste. Honor guards bronze falcons. Fortunately, it's two-handed as well. Oh. Actually, you should probably be the one to have haste. +1 quickness. Yeah, that'll probably work out better for you. This can be sold. What's this? Mead. Plus what? Mead for might! And scroll. Which we'll hold on to. I'll put it on you just so I don't go accidentally selling it. But we'll hold on to it for now. The once pure water of Queen Light Cirrus Tears has run red with blood since Kairos' forces invaded. Damn, that is ominous! Aurora. Fatebinder, Aurora salutes you as you approach. We're honored by your presence. Need something?
Seen anything interesting during the war?
I once saw a forge-bound artisan set himself on fire. Occupational hazard. That was an unpleasant day. The first of many, to be honest. I wasn't there to watch you proclaim the Edict of Storms, but I saw the devastation hit Stalwart and take up several cohorts of disfavored with it. She squeezes her eyes shut and shakes her head.
What can you tell me about the Vindrian God?
They're the last group of the Younger Realms. Among them are warriors that escaped the bastard city's siege, a few refugees from other victories, and a bunch of Vindrian locals with delusions of independence. These southern wastrels cannot match our iron, nor the chorus's numbers. What on Tyrants gave them the nerve to rise up and ask for a second helping of battle is anyone's guess.
How long have you been with the disfavored?
7 years? She pauses to count on her fingers. 2 seasons, mayhaps a handful of days. I trained at Fort Resolution a bit before the conquest. Compared to the commanders you find around camp or stationed at Iron Hearth, that makes me one of the young bloods. This has been a long and grueling campaign, but the end is in sight. We'll soon have the Oathbreakers back under control. Then we can rest, retrain, and even cycle our troops so we can see our families again.
What's the situation here in Vindrian's Well?
The Oathbreakers hold the citadel at the heart of the valley, the one built around the base of the spire. Aurora points east towards the tower in the distance. The Matani River has been our largest headache during the siege. It's unsafe for armored troops to ford, save for at key locations, and the enemy knows this as well as we do. I know we'd be a lot farther along if the Scarlet Chorus used its alleged strength in numbers to ford the river themselves and overwhelm the enemy. Aurora looks at Verse with a disapproving air. As it is, we must take the valley slowly and advance the disfavored bulwark, since that's where the real work gets done. Because all it takes is numbers to cross a river under a hail of arrows. If the disfavored were quicker to act, maybe the Vindrian God wouldn't be so trained up to face us. Hey bro, nice cock. What the fuck? You can't just compliment someone's pee-pee. That's against bro code. I think I'm not a bro. Yeah, that's a typical Desi statement.
We're always correct. The slow advance will win out.
Without question. Patience and determination will deliver these tearsmen to us in chains.
Carry on.
She taps her gauntlet to her breastplate and salute. Have a pleasant siege, Fatebinder. A pleasant siege. Sure. That's what we'll call it. Oh, there's a thing over here. Let's go see what this is about. I can climb it.
Found something.
What's this? Potion of invisibility. That sounds cool. I'm taking it. Climb the old rope. I see a nice dick. I compliment it. Do you? Do you really? Is that your first instinct whenever you see a penis? You'd be like, it's got some good features. Fatebinder, what an honor to have the Toulon's court visit our humble holdfast. Need supplies? Bursting with energy, the merchant slams her palm down on the top of the crate. If so, you've come to the right place. So, what will it be today? She spreads out a welcoming arm over her wares.
I trust you've been granted proper stewardship of the goods you are peddling.
Well, you see, Fatebinder. The merchant cranes her head to the side and scratching her neck. I think so. I've been handed these bits of scripts. She reaches across a stack of provisions to snatch a scroll case. But I'm not a woman of letters. Numbers are my strength, so you can well imagine.
Let me see those.
Certainly, good fate binder. She hands you the scroll case while wearing a quizzical expression. A cursory read indicates the merchant is granted the unlimited right to trade in a logistical capacity. When not supporting an active battle, she has the right to trade grain, copper, and olives anywhere in the tiers. Dicks look like elbow skin, TBH. They're softer than elbows, though. Any porn I do see is of women because I follow many OnlyFans girls for definitely not homosexual reasons. All skin tastes the same. That's pretty quotable.
Where did you get these?
Hachi and Bronze acquired these on my behalf from Archon Tunon's agents, I believe. Her expression shows deep concern. Do you see any issue?
Well, looks like we have a slight problem here.
A problem? But how can that be? I paid a span's profit for the stewardship. What sort of problem is there?
You have the right to trade and as part of active war efforts. Currently, it would seem our warriors are unable or unwilling to fight. See the problem?
Oh, I see the problem. Her eyes narrow and her hand slides towards the strings of copper along her waist. Let's skip some steps in this dance, shall we? She holds up a hand with a string of copper rings dangling from her fingers. A donation to the court. Call it a proper fine. Call it tribute for our protection. Just call off your game if you say yes.
That'll do.
I'll take that. Give me your skins. No. That's the most honest extortion I've suffered all year. She drops the strings of copper rings in your hand, clenching her fist the moment she lets go. Now, if you don't mind, we're through. She waves her hand towards the gate. Safe journey. Haha, worth it.
Got it.
Probably not worth it. I think they... I don't know what they sold, but you know. The torn banner bears the scratched out icon of the disfavored. God damn, it does not give you enough time. Hold on, can I, like, see a chat log or something? The army's original symbol has been lost to history, and Graven Ash has been ordered a replacement, preferring the blasted icon over all others. You like foreskin. The prisoner says his name's Tarkus Deimos. Justice lets out a long sigh, tapping his gauntlet finger to his temple. I don't think this is a complicated matter. He dies. His family has been a driving force in the Vendrian Guard. Killing him should demoralize whatever's left of the Tarkus clan. All must be given a chance to. The chorus mage falls short on her eyes as her eyes widen at the recognition of your face. I see how it is. Have you come to once again deny us our right? How do you expect us to fight if we are denied the right to claim new blood? We'd let you take the prisoners, but you can't control them. You send these conscripts out on patrol and they never return, defecting all over again.
I can't let this nonsense strategy continue.
Well, I insist this Oathbringer be taken to the voices of Nerat, leaving us at an impasse. Fortunately, we have a Fatebinder here to settle the matter for us. F you, Scarlet Whores. The chanter turns to you, an expectant smile creeping across her face. So, what do you say? What should become of the prisoner?
Execute the Oathbreaker. One chance to surrender is enough.
Hey, I got the achievement Slow Death. A slow death, I should say. Which I guess is to get have someone be executed.
The Tearsmen can't be trusted. Rakes, thieves, and whores, nothing more. We were far too merciful the first time.
Justice nods to a nearby warrior.
Have this one tied up. He and his friends can watch each other rot in the sun. I won't keep you here any longer, Fatebinder. I know you have important business in the valley.
Justice salutes you, his iron gauntlet wrapping against his breastplate.
For the glory of Kairos. Must attend the rest of the soldiers.
Horde. Symbol of the Scarlet Chorus is smeared in blood on the other tattered cloth. No effort has been made to repair the gaping tears. That's about right. Kairos has ordered the original icon of the disfavored erased from memory for over 100 years. Oh, okay. Learning the disfavored symbol. I know a thing or two about that. Do you? Weapons and armor are stacked with neat precision on this transport car. Every spear is honed and oiled, ready for battle. Ooh, there's a barrel over here I can loot. We can start a horror club. Wait, is that illegal? Horror club? I mean, in some places it's legal. You, hold on to this for now.
Yes.
Several skulls, bleached by the sun and picked clean by carrion birds, are spiked on a roughly honed post. It is the only heraldry of the Scarlet Chorus needs. Ooh, more mead. Fuck yeah. I like might. And a head wrap. Well, actually, do I have a head wrap? I got a ceremonial Fatebinder, tune on helm. Recovery of 0.4%. We'll just sell it. Weapons and armor are strewn half-heartedly in the car. Every blade shows signs of rust, and every piece of armor is in need of repair. Haha, just goes to show you how the difference between the chorus and the purples. God, what? Disfavored. There we go. God damn. I'm not sure why my brain breaks every time I try to remember their name. Kind of heart and thick of ass. I see how it is.
You there.
Muttering through a mouthful of congealed blood, Tarka's Damos hangs from his stake.
In this, I beg you. Will you make a better warning to others while you're still twitching?
Unable or unwilling to muster strength to reply, the Oathbreaker turns away, wincing in pain.
I got it.
We did a good thing right there, and I knows it. Scarlet is literally just a mob of idiots. I mean, it's also got some of the most talented individual. You know, I think with the Dishonored, it's a you know, they're stagnated in, like, their skill level, but it's a high skill level. But I think the Scarlet Chorus has, like, more range, so it has some people that are a lot more, that have a lot more talent and ability than the brain work. Disfavored? Dishonored? Why does this always happen? Disfavored. There we go. Disfavored. Disfavored, disfavored, disfavored. Hey! Athletics, climb up. You feel like Scarm right now? God damn it, there's subterfuge. Okay, back down. Well. Okay. Ooh, Red Geyser. Red Geyser. That's bonus damage to your next attack, equal to 50% of the damage received from attackers. Oh, that's really cool. That is cool mechanic. Okay. So this map kind of reminds me of Emperor's New Groove in like how it's been drawn out. Stalkins, yeah. Okay, to the disfavored camp. I didn't even finish my thought with the Scarlet Chorus. Right, but yeah, they probably have some people that are extremely talented. But that being said, fuck them. We're better than them. That's just how it is. Sterling Hagnon. Hail, Fatebinder. The disfavored scout nods at your approach. Camp's on up ahead. Don't mind us, just clearing out the rabble. I still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that these are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion a proper toll. But she's going on about trading rights. What nonsense is that? I'm not allowed to trade one thing for another. It's not like I'm selling weapons or angry peasants or anything of the sort.
You're in disfavored land. These warriors have every right to kill you. You should be more thankful they're even listening to you speak.
But I'm only here to peddle my wares. I mean no harm. The merchant takes a step back, his eyes scanning the soldiers for signs of movement. If you think I'm a threat to the disfavored camp, then you have seriously overestimated me. Please, how do I make this right? From the sound of it, I feel like I'm about to be robbed.
You're the only one. I'm being robbed of patience as we speak. We should move on, Fatebinder. Petty disputes are beneath us both. Robbed? No, you fool. You're being granted life after trespassing on our lands, all for the simple price of what's in your cart. Now our fault, not our fault you don't have your permits in order. I don't write the rules, I just ruthlessly enforce them.
Please! The merchant lurches towards you, eyes wide with desperation. Can you do something?
Let me see your trade permits.
He hasn't got one. Therein lies the problem. A trade permit? Well, how was I mean, to whom would I speak for such a thing? Not us, and not our problem. Maybe march your butt to Bastard City and plead your case before Turn-On. But we'll lighten your burden and relieve you of your wares first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable.
You best start making a strong argument as to why I should help you.
Ah, damn it. What's there to discuss? We should kill this mongrel, and the warrior pauses, placing her hand in front of her mouth. If the Fatebinder wishes to weigh in on the matter, courtesy demands we listen. The soldier clears her throat, looking at you expectantly. This is a disfavored matter. but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw their judgment around. God damn it, I just wanted to hear out his case. We are assholes in this game. Well, we can be assholes. Well, you could rob me now and have my supplies today. The merchant grabs a flask from the cart. Or you can leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and healing drafts. Certainly any army will need those. He uncorks a small ceramic vial, and an aroma of cloves and lanolin assaults your nose.
If the disfavored have reason to question these items, I shall trust their judgment.
There we go, back in favor. Thank you, Fatebinder. I know others of your ilk would gleefully meddle in our affairs at every opportunity. The soldier turns her attention to the merchant. I hereby reclaim these trappings of the Overlord for use of by the disfavored. If you want to live, take 2 steps to your left and don't move a muscle. The peddler shakes his head with a scowl and steps aside. As directed, spitting towards his own cart, Hagnon mutters a half-garbled curse before placing his hands up in submission. We did a good thing today.
This is all your fault, you
Kairos dog. Slow down a moment. I know we're both eager to watch the Archons bicker over tactics like a pair of magpies, but I need to ask you something first.
What's that?
The voices of Nerat told me that you've come as a mediator. Considering the source, well, I can't help but feel I'm only hearing half the story. So let's have it out. What's so special about you?
Oh, says the voices of Nerat told you.
Only that I could find you in Edgaring ruins. Truthfully, I could have picked you out of a crowd. You're the only one of us who hasn't spent the last months bathing in the stink of the Matani River. She laughs, but there's a forced nature to it.
What's so suspicious?
It's just a feeling I got. When the Archons are together, the air gets as taut as a bowstring. I can't help but think that no amount of compromise will get them seeing eye to eye. So why invite a mediator from Tunon's court? It doesn't add up.
Or do you think the Archons are at odds?
I've been with the Scarlet Corps since the early days of the Conquest, so I could say it's been building for a few years now. There's an energy about those two, like a pair of storms moving to collide. I heard tell that Graven Ash and the voices of Nerat shared some bad blood in the Northern Empire, but I don't know any of the particulars.
By my authority, the Archons will fall in line.
That sounds like exactly the attitude to set this campaign in the right direction. I don't envy you the task of getting them to cooperate, which sounds about as easy as teaching a tornado to heal. At least you sound like you know what you're doing.
I'm here to deliver an edict from Kairos.
That makes a crazy kind of sense. Considering how long the siege has taxed the army, I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to speed things along. Have you read it? Do you know what it says?
That is not for you to know.
If you're telling the truth, I suppose I'll hear about it soon enough anyway. She nods to herself.
Enough of this. I must meet with the Archons.
Achievement unlocks building a reputation. Gain your first reputation ability. Open the reputation UI using R. Okay. Must build. Okay. Interesting. I like it. Hey, don't let me hold you back. I'm sure whatever you're here to do is important enough that you don't need me stepping in your path. The war tent is just past the center of camp. One last thing. Be careful around these disfavored type. They take their work seriously, and most have suffered too many blows to the head. You what, mate? Okay. So I gained it with verse. Okay. Fury's Rage. Project intense flames towards Verse, which she catches on her blades and spins into an aura of wreathing flames around her. Nearby foes take burn damage from the flames while they last. Oh, that's cool. Huh. Verse was appalled by your orderly, honorable ways. Oh, man, that's good. What do we have here? Step closer, present yourself. You've arrived at last. The disfavored warrior turns to the other guard. This isn't just any Fatebinder, this is the Stormcaller. Murdoch fought with us all the way back to the Gates of Judgment. Served on the front line, saw it with my own eyes. The guard looks back at you, nodding slowly. We're honored Tunon sent you. I'm sorry, but with the helmet it's hard to tell the face. No reason for you to remember me. I was 2 files over, 1 rank behind. The Longbeards in the region were so mad at having to, in their words, babysit Tunon's novice. But you fought well. Not as well as us, but certainly better than those dumb pukes in the chorus. Go on in. The soldier gestures towards the gates. The Archons are expecting you. You'll find them in the war tent, center of camp.
Right.
I like the style for this game. Arrows were fletched with precision and care.
Yes.
Pentibor. Hail to you, guardian of the law. A man dressed in merchant finery greets you with a smile. A smile. Your arms are broke. Oh my goodness, you just reminded me, Desi. I had my first experience with, sleep paralysis this morning. My very first ever instance of dealing with sleep paralysis. Like, I woke up and I fell asleep on my stomach, and my hands were off to the side, my head on the pillow, and I was very conscious of everything that was going on. But I could not move my arms. I could not move my arms, and I didn't really think to move the rest of my body. I wasn't able to lift my head because it was at an angle where it was like, it's kind of hard to lift it. Because most of your lifting when it comes to your head is actually in your back. So I wasn't able to just, like, move my head. And I wasn't able to lift myself, with my back either. Luckily, I handled it well because I didn't realize I was dealing with sleep paralysis. So instead of panicking, my thoughts were basically just like, move, you fucking arm, move! And it was like that for like a good 5 minutes before, like, I was finally able to move my arms again. I did not feel like I was going to die. I was just like, any moment now, this tired feeling will wear off and I can actually stand up. And then once it wore off, I just kind of flipped over, was like, it's 10 o'clock, I don't have to do anything for like 3 more hours, and I fell back asleep for 3 hours and 50 minutes. If you have a few excess rings weighing you down, best unburden yourself before battle. You know that if the disfavored suffered a merchant in their camp, that must be a man selling only the finest provisions and armaments. He points to his collection of shields, rations, satchels, wineskins, and other sundries. Take a look and see if something interests you.
Your largest crate. Open it. Now.
Something in your tone causes him to blanch. He scrambles to remove the lid from the largest of crates. Of course, Fatebinder! Don't let me inconvenience you for a moment. His supplies are all perfectly ordinary. You see nothing out of place or unauthorized by his mercantile license. Gotta. You lean down to inspect the merchant's wares and spot a few rings that must have fallen to the bottom of the crate. As you shift supplies aside during the course of your inspection, you make a point of palming the rings, confident that they won't be missed. The merchant pretends to not observe your actions, but a momentary flash of disappointment is evident in his eyes. Oh, poor guy. Have a good night, Jeff. Take care of yourself. Pleasant dreams and all that. If I can't move, I probably can't breathe. Can't scream for help. Oh, no. Ooh, gosh, that is a terrible thought, Rote. Yeah, no, I didn't even try to think about... I didn't even, like, think about, like, opening up my mouth or trying to see if I could talk. You know, I was just like, this is it. I just gotta wait for my arms to start working again. So, you know, I am very happy that my brain thoughts are extremely logical, rather than being like, oh my god, I'm dying! I heard a bunch of sinister whispers one time when I got it. Man, fuck that. Fuck that.
Most of the camp followers are slaves or haulers. You don't see many merchants.
I try not to congratulate myself on my good fortune, since it's by the wisdom and mercy of Tunon that I make a profit. Perhaps we're not so different in that respect. He winks. If I wasn't following the rear guard peddling my wares, my niece Rona and I would no doubt be caretakers of a pitiful market stall, shouting above the rabble to make ourselves known to the lords and ladies of the bastard city.
How do you come to work with the disfavored?
Hard work and good suppliers. When Tunon's men came to my village, all the merchants were given different lists of what they were and weren't permitted to trade. He smiles, hand on hips. In Kairos' wisdom, my records must have been a good one, because I was given the right to trade in all manner of goods. Most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. That's good, bro. If you relax through it and don't panic, you'll be good. Yeah, because it basically both things are connected to your brain. It's like you're conscious, but your brain, when you sleep, basically does a thing where it just turns off all motor function. So sleep paralysis is basically like the function that has turned off your movement is still in effect, but the dream aspect is still there. But you are conscious. It's just the dream aspect only takes effect depending on your emotions. You know, it's kind of like lucid dreaming, except instead of it being in a dream, it is a waking nightmare. It's great.
Let me see your wares.
Pentabor rubs his hands, eyes alight. Let's see if we can find anything you might like. There we go, don't need those.
Ooh, I'll get 2 golden rings.
2 gold rings. Oh no, these are bronze. Where are these ones? Copper. Copper, bronze, and iron. Okay, that makes sense. My brain does weird things awake too. It just be like that. It just be. Brotherhood Stout. What this do? What this do? 10% melee damage, plus 2 armor. Holy shit, Nunu. Holy fuck, dog. Get over here. Get over here. Fucking come here. There, you can chill out on my lap, but god damn. She tried to claw her way into my leg to hold herself up, and I was like, oh god, that was nothing but pain. I don't like that I have to close each window. Some water? Oh, there's a stick. sticker in your fur. Let me... Yes! Okay. Water increases your resolve. That's cool. Camping supplies. Don't know what this is for. Baby. Nunu is baby. Nunu is baby. Look at this baby. Look at her. She is adorable. Mwah. Nunu, I love you. Aww. She gives such gentle kisses. Okay, there's some stickers. I'm up. Ooh, that's like a bundle of stickers right there. Stay. It's okay. It's okay. Ooh, actually, no, that's a really close cut. Or no, it's not. That is quite literally just like... It was actually just like matted fur for once. Not even stickers. Wonderful. Good news. You're such a good girl. I love you. Nunu has not been allowed out for a little bit now because the next door neighbor's dogs like to try and mate with her, and it's like, please God, no. Let me see. You have some weapons. Bronze sword. Okay. What kind of sword am I using? It's a bronze sword. Okay. Nope. I think I'm good. Right. We can at least trade away these items. There we go. Finishing Animal Crossing things, but my Switch suddenly weighs like 100 pounds? Arf? It's a feature of the Switch. It'll just do that. Got no time to chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pintable if you rings to trade. If you've rings to trade. Blah 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 blah. This stone shield is mine, and this triagonal sign. Let's see it. 1.5 armor, 2.25 pierce / frost armor. Okay. I like it. Oh, I like it. Lowers deflection, recovery, and accuracy. But it gives me armor. And that's what I'm about. Oh man, this does not let's just hide the helmet for now. Until we can get some armor that actually fits. The table is lined with various medicinal herbs. It would appear that they have been carefully rationed.
Can't do that.
Okay. Carefully skinned games hang from this branch. They appear sickly and malnourished. Oh.
That wasn't so hard.
Cheese in a bronze bowl, mate. The cheese is for everyone. I do not hold above head. I am just weakened, must stalk. Who are you stalking, Desi? And why you stalking? Bitter quip. Bitter quip. And actually, I can probably... Oh wait, can I... Oh! This appears to be an accent that I can learn. Let's stack that. Learn? Ah, nice. Okay, so how does this work? Oh, okay. Sigil strength. Increase to spell strength. Okay. So it's like, what, if I do this, and then I can add that? Is that correct? Oh, but it increases the lore needed in order... Okay. All it does is increase it by 0.75, so that's... whatever. Okay, cool. Cool. I like that. That's a cool thing. I'd be nice, stalker. I'd leave little gifts to on your doorstep and be as non-invasive as possible. Maybe a little kissy on the cheek while you're sleeping. Because that's not invasive.
Glory to the voices of Nerat.
Rejecting his salutation for all to hear, the grinning blood chanter raps his staff against the foreground as you approach.
Fatebinder Murdoch, I presume.
His smile quickly retreats, giving way to a sour scowl.
I am Bitter Creep. I'm here as the emissary of the Scarlet Chorus.
Bearquip looks at you impatiently.
What can you tell me about the Scarlet Chorus? The Chorus is the future of the Tears. I feel only derision and pity for those who fear our inevitable ascension.
Bitterquip looks at you with raised eyebrows.
What in particular would you like to know? Tell me about the voices of Nerat. He is supreme commander and public servant. He who sets us free but directs all. Bitterquip smiles as he talks, his face turning flush. The voices of Nerat is the epitome of what each of us can be. A magician without equal, and the leader of uncountable numbers. The voices in the chorus are one, conquering, expanding, growing, changing, always stronger. Bearquip pounds his staff on the ground. Glory to the voices. How do you come to join the Scarlet Chorus? The doctrine of strength speaks to me, and I answered its call, as did some of my arcane peers. I took the chorus almost instantly. Unlike most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over a pack in my early days in the chorus. If you're so curious about it all, Bearquip smiles, lifting an eyebrow, perhaps you should visit our camp and see for yourself. What's your role in the chorus? I am a blood chanter. My magic can turn the wheel of man in the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now, though being forced to keep an eye on the disfavored is not the reward I had envisioned for my service thus far. Sounds as if you really like the voices of Nerat. Bearquip blinks several times and scowls, saying nothing. That's all now. Bearquip nods as you depart. Cool.
Will do.
A meager portion of game simmers in the large copper pot. Fragrant spices attempt to mask the potent smell of whatever creature they've decided to cook. You have a butcher knife in your room now for what? Because of Desi? Oh, sorry. I'm Lucia. This is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder. From under her helmet, you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to babies. Assigned to hospitality. Marcus quickly interjects. While you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. What can we do for you? Do you always stand at ease in the presence of a high officer? You're such a faker? What? No, sir. Marcus straightens his back in short order and regards you with trepidation. Is this... Lucia also adjusts her posture, if slower than her companion. I wasn't briefed on the chain of command. Do we report to the Fatebinder now? I heard Iron Marshal say that Turnon's agents can intercede if there's a dispute. That sounds pretty authoritative to me. I'm not so proud that I won't strike a pose, if only to keep up appearances. That hardly satisfies my question, so I take it the answer is kind of. So be it. Hail, Fatebinder. Marcus, tell me about yourself. Not sure there's much to tell. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle. Lucia rolls her eyes. Duke did not say that if you were his stalker, he would not want to kiss. Sorry, what? Internet went out. Brother came downstairs since he uses it via Wi-Fi. Fix it. Told him I already troubleshooted. He went Berlin. Then he berated me about shit when he left the room. Probably, first things first, probably best to not talk about that in the chat, Captain, because in the end, when it comes down to, you know, like, first things first, I am one of those people that does believe that, threat, or, yeah, you're done with this, I gotcha. I am just gonna say, like, when it ultimately comes down to this, like, if you were to kill him, you would be the one to go to jail. You know, even with you leaving this, or you know, like, again, I don't know how your family is. Just make sure videotape and make sure that it is an actual threat. Is actually dangerous, and record it and send it to the police before you go, you know, taking it into your own hand. You know, because the police can go, yeah, that's, you know, that's a threat. You know, but the thing is, no matter what you do in that circumstance, it is more than likely guaranteed to turn family against you. So be prepared to take those consequences. And again, please just keep a record and send it to the cops rather than taking things into your own hand. Premeditated murder is always not a good time. Exactly, Desi. Some people don't take threats as seriously. And that's how they take it if they took it out of context. Yeah, it's like if the police came to the stream and looked at this, they would say, yeah, that's premeditated. You know. And again, much better just get record of any threats and send it to the police, and then you have that on hand. Like, keeping records is the most important thing you can do if you don't want to go to jail. Or if you want to send someone else to jail. Forehead. That was something to walk back to? Yeah. A lot of people are all bark and no bite. All I know is the best people I know are the ones that, you know, react to screaming by just kind of, you know, just kind of going, eh. I got you, Captain. Again, please just take care of yourself and realize that there is more that you can do than more that you can do to defend yourself than just defend yourself. You know. That is all. You're just bare that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters of the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. He shakes his head and sighs.
Lucia, tell me about yourself.
I do this. She unenthusiastically lifts up her heavy shield, and I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with her spear. Lucia shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaigns. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be my family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. Look at Cheese Snake. That is a cheese snake.
You seem handy with a weapon, Lucia.
Disfavored favor 1. Aye, if you ever want some pointers on how to use that weapon of yours, just let me know. She winks. Lucia, are you flirting with Tunon's Fatebinder? Relax, Marcus. There are plenty of camp slaves if I ever need to scratch an itch. Although, through the visors of her helm, you notice Lucia's eyes roving up and down your body. If you ever need someone to warm your bedroll, let me know. I sleep in my armor. Hope you don't mind. Agreement, Zara. Injuries to you are evidence against them. And most people that most people that don't have the patience or subtleness to, you know, not scream and yell tend to not have the ability to hide their aggressive nature to the cops either. And if anything, you just want to get it. You want to make sure that the that there is a police record of any instance that happens with someone else.
Have your skills fared in battle against the Oathbreakers, Marcus?
Every battle is a reminder of the Legion's superiority. The Oathbreakers have plenty of heart, but nothing to beat our northern values and Graven Ash's love. If you ever want to enjoy the feeling, I can spare you the time of day to cross iron.
What's it like serving with the disfavored?
In spite of our name, the Legion commands more honor than any military on the face of Tyrants. Unlike the Chorus, there is tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. Marcus looks out across the camp. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're a tightly knit family, bound together by trust and glory. Accurate enough, Lucia shrugs. After seeing the disunity and bickering of the younger realm defenders, I feel lucky to be in the most agreeable legion of Kairos' host, if we're not always the most efficient.
If the Legion boasts so much honor, why are they disfavored?
I'm afraid that isn't for me to say. Others around camp might be able to tell you more, but I don't freely discuss the great general's history to outsiders. But you'll say that it involves the great general, which is already telling a clue, idiot. Drat. At least the Iron Marshal isn't within earshot, or I'd be washing my mouth out with wormwood. Cool. I could get training from them. Yeah, me. You didn't. Lieutenants trail off, obscured by the rising smoke of campfires. The soldiers you see appear somber and quiet, a calm before the storm. Cool.
Hey.
Oh. Whoops.
I got it.
Man, look at these guys. Ain't
There's
they
4
cool?
reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tiersmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
The Archon of War pounds his staff to the ground and punctuate his words. A large and imposing man to begin with. His profile is made larger still by his hulking suit of armor that hums with mystic energy.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
I love the voices of Nerat. He's got that subtle Joker vibe to him. The Archon of Secrets passes a scepter between his hands as he speaks, twirling the rod in hypnotic circles. Emerald luminescence seeps from the seams of the Archon's ragged red robes. The glow is most noticeable where his neck ought to be. His mask seems to float and spin, never pivoting or bending naturally.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
Sexy voice. Ooh, sexy voice. Verse whispers fearfully as she beholds the Archons. I remain silent for a moment.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see the Scarlet Chorus warriors defecting back to the Vendrian Guard? Your fearsome reputation has gone flaccid, for it seems you cannot control your soldiers, or perhaps you simply choose not to.
My lords, the Fatebinder has arrived. The disfavored commander raises her voice, trying with little success to speak over the Archons. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guests speak?
Speaking of strategic failures, who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
The Archon of Secrets twirls his scepter in a twisting loop, his leather-wrapped hands flipping the heavy rod with an effortless flow.
And I thought you had left agents within these Tiersmen when they surrendered. Either you failed to see this coming, or you knew and let it happen. Incompetent or in cahoots, either way, this mess has your filthy stink all over it.
The Archon of War lurches forward, resting his weight on his wormhole as blue luminescence crackles around his armor.
We look forward to seeing you explain to Tunon why the Archon of War could not close the vice on this trivial little insurgency. When we are crowned the ruler of the Tiers, we shall have this place renamed to Ash's Folly in your honor.
Cough if we have your attention.
If I could trust the information I get from you and your conscripted mouth breathers, perhaps I'd order my cohorts around a bit more aggressively. But last time I trusted your all-clear report, my troops failed to come home.
Oh, Ash, old boy. If you're going to have a little sob every time one of your nieces or nephews dies to the Tiersmen, perhaps we should have Siren sing you some calming lullabies to help you cope with your grief.
Siren is the Archon of Song and the youngest Archon sent to conquer the Tears. Young and inexperienced, Siren is sworn to the voices of Nerat, who uses her powers of charm and manipulation to swell the ranks of the Scarlet Chorus with volunteers. Hold your tongue! I will not have you denigrate the honor of our fallen brethren. The commander's hands move to the hilt of her blade, though the weapon stays sheathed. I'd be doing us all a favor if I cracked open that excuse for her head. They bicker like children, do they not? The fifth eye's grating tenor pierces the tension in the tent, and all eyes land on the Crimson Spear. I meant only to say welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. The armored retainer bows with rushed inelegance, then rises to salute. And not a moment too soon.
Did I give you permission to speak?
The Archon of War turns to you, his blue eyes wide with anger. The many portraits you've seen depict Graven Ash with a stern, unamused countenance. He is even more taciturn in the flesh. Apologies for the sudden entrance. I've traveled long to be here.
Stormcaller, it is an honor to have you with us. I would imagine you are here with another of Kairos' edicts. Perhaps another catastrophe that will punish our foes for hiding behind their walls?
Sure.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all.
On last of his words, the Archon of War glares at the voices of Nerat, furrowing his brow as he utters the word camaraderie. I require no thanks for doing my sworn duty.
Modesty is your prerogative, but know that cooperation and goodwill have been rarities of late. You do your Lord Tunon a great honor by aiding your cousins in the disfavored.
Oh, don't mind us while you trade your gushing praise. We're sure the Fatebinder has come because our company lacks in small talk.
I come bearing an edict of Kairos.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city.
Yeah.
Now Kairos has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
The Overlord's loyal servants must hold Ascension Hall by Kairos' Day of Swords, or all in the valley shall perish. The earth sways with each word you utter, the air thickening the warmth as you pronounce the tersely phrased commandment. Its every syllable drafted by the hand of Kairos. With the edict proclaimed, your pulse quickens and the muscles in your legs, worn from a long trip down the mountains, feel renewed, the tired limbs now nearly buoyant with vigor. Spread darkness across the realm.
The Overlord means to compel us into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Matani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to back up Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
The Archon of War taps a finger against his temple. A low rumble escapes from under his beard.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft, timid. That was a record for you, right? A baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
Watch him squirm. So many tears. Of irreplaceable, expendable, useless soldiers. I miss the old Archon of War. You'd never see blood echo in a blubbering mess over a few dead killers. He'd use the knuckle bones of his best disciples for jewelry, and even made a breastplate out of his dead brothers. They call you the Archon of Secrets, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful.
I second the Fatebinder. Thought you had the memories of one of those Oathbreakers rattling about that bronze gourd of yours. Would Kairos' mighty spy master please enlighten this gathering of allies with some scrap of strategic insight?
The Archon of Secret turns his head to the side until the face of his mask has turned around and a new facet of the mask presents itself as facing forward. When next the Archon speaks, the trembling voice of a younger man can be heard. I'm done stalking. Mwah. Mwah. Right back at you, Desi.
Our river was to be the bulwark, but with the Tidecasters slain, what hope remains? It's so cold in here. Help me. Please.
Oh, fuck! The voice of a late Mitanni Genev, ranking member of the Vendrian Guard. The wealthy House Mitanni owned much of the realm of Apex before the coming of Kairos. Interesting. The Archon turns his head far to the side until the previous face of the mask now looks forward.
Our sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Mitanni, we suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile.
I know that voice. Mitanni Janev of the Vendrian Guard.
Good ear, young Fatebinder. When the Vendrian Guard surrendered, Mitanni Yanev had the audacity to demand an audience. Being the gracious Archon we are, we obliged. What the good captain knew, we now know.
I swallowed weird. Again. Ooh, hold on. I think my throat is dry.
Voices of Nerat, I trust you are done acting the clown, and will have your horde ready to march with all haste.
Do not think for a moment that you can give us orders, maggot. Not unless you wish to discover new ways of feeling pain.
My lord, Beric is the commander of the Stone Shield. Beric and his band have been drilled on the Echo Call assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the river. I will dispatch him at once. Stockbroker. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. The Grand Marshal salutes, clapping her gauntlet to her breastplate.
And I will ensure the chorus stands ready to march. If the disfavored can take the river, the chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunon's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
Have a good night, Nux. Take care of yourself. Pleasant dreams and all that.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
The Archon twirls his scepter one last time, then taps the fifth eye on the shoulder, and the two depart.
Swing by the Scarlet Corps camp before you get wrapped up in whatever errands the disfavored demand of you. The Scarlet Chorus could benefit from your experience.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end. Though the edict threatens the Scarlet Chorus just as it threatens us, I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. I am reminded of our last campaign, here in Vendrian's Well, when the Scarlet Chorus insisted we observe an armistice to cater to some backwoods Tearsman festival of carnality. We were lucky you were present to overrule such a foolish notion, so it is good you are here now to squash any further spurious delays. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
I'm short a few scouts, short a few soldiers, short a few everything. I'm sure my brethren would be grateful for the assistance of a skilled outsider.
And what of the Scarlet Corps? How will they be helping?
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the outer valley.
The Earthbreakers have maintained a sizable force outside the Citadel. We need the Chorus manpower to scour the region. Otherwise, the Earthbreakers will attack at our heels once we cross the Mittani. How am I today? I'm pretty good. Wiggles is under my desk right now and is like, yo, I need something. What do you need, Wiggles? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? Huh? Huh? What do you need? What do you need, Wiggles? I think she needs to go out. I'm gonna take her out real fast. Wiggle butt, come on, little wiggle butt. Come on. Awesome sauce. Well, I'll make sure to go get her later. In like some odd amount of minutes.
I would be honored to help.
The Iron Marshal salutes Grave and Ash, then turns to leave the tent. I'll be at the training grounds readying the soldiers. Find me there when you are ready. She pauses, clearing her throat. And though I am loath to mention it, the chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the Outer Valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp, due east. Seek him out, if you must. The Archon of War lets out a long sigh as he surveys the maps and models splayed about his desk. He glances over his shoulder, making brief eye contact with you, furrows his brow, and turns back to his contemplation.
The missive said the Stormcaller was coming. Seems I was a fool to think you'd bring an edict that would pulverize and punish the Oathbreakers. May we speak a moment? I do not have much patience left for words, but I will not turn away an honored friend. You have been our trusted ally in the court since the early days of the conquest. Least I can do is spare you a moment of my time. What is on your mind? Your distrust of the voices of Neroth is plain as day. How'd this antipathy begin? Our rivalry is an old one. The voices of Neroth served Kairos before I did, and I believe he hates me for being of roughly the same status in the eyes of the Overlord, despite being the younger Archon selected to lead an army through the tears. The Archon furrows his brow, grumbling softly as he stares. This war seems to have brought out the worst in us. We've disagreed on strategy on every turn. I think you're right to be wary of the voices of Neroth. I'm glad you concur, for I feel my paranoia around him is somewhat justified. What can you tell me of Can, a late Archon of Stone? I should have known sooner his heart strayed from Kairos. I need to split our forces, send him to Azure while I tackled Stalwart, but that was a mistake. Without me looming near, he must have felt free to live out his traitorous dreams. Why do you think he turned against Kairos? Can only served us because death was the alternative. He did not admire the unity and progress that Kairos brings. While I suspect Chorus agents may have whispered treachery in Can's ear, I think it wholly possible Can fell into disloyalty by his own volition. Desi, how's Luna today? What has become of Can's disciples, the Earthshakers? Can's chief disciple, Radix, now speaks for the guild. It is true that my warriors are a bit apprehensive about our magical allies. Many suspect Can's treachery was taught to them. But I have vetted the guild, pruned whom I don't trust, kept those I can. You have something to admit? You want to steal Nunu? No, that's fair. She's fucking adorable. She's a small 2-pound dog that fucking just wants to love on you. That being said, she has a fucking feisty attitude. But, like, when she's used to you, like, she will just fucking jump up on you and kiss you till the end of days. I wonder where she's at. Let's speak of something else. What became of the warriors you left to garrison this region years ago? I too have questions about that. The Archon inhales sharply, his posture becoming defensive. His cold blue eyes stare at you with an unblinking intensity. I have reason to believe that when the garrison was taken, the disfavored were slain, not by the Oathbreakers. And though I know it in my bones, I cannot prove the voices of Nerat is at fault. If this is true, the Archon of Justice must be informed. No. I will make no claim I cannot handily prove. I appreciate your sense of duty, but not yet. Well, what's your reason to believe such a thing? It is well known that I can protect my soldiers from harm, even if they are beyond my sight. What is less known is that I sense every cut, every kill, every illness. No harm to my soldiers escapes my notice. Of the warriors posted at Vendrian's Wells Citadel, only 2 were slain in the uprising, but few others died later, and horrible, painful magic was involved. My son was one of those who died under such unusual circumstances. For a second, the Archon of War trembles, his eyes widening with a faraway stare. Your son was among those killed? Yes, my son Brennex was posted with the garrison, but I felt his death happen elsewhere, after the battle. but all in my legion are family, and he is my flesh. He is of my flesh, must remain irrelevant. It was Luna's birthday. It's Luna's birthday today. Happy birthday to Luna! Yay! Let's speak of something else. What is on your mind? I need to know why conquering a few lowly tearsmen is so impossible a task. The Archon lets out a long sigh, glaring at you with a furrowed brow. It is not for lacking of trying. Earlier in the year, when the chorus was still gathering to the valley, I launched a raiding party to head straight to the Citadel. They never made it past the Matani River. With no disfavored survivors and no Corps scouts with eyes on the situation, I know very little of what occurred, only that they died quickly. That left me short-handed and in need of more troops, and they've been slowly trickling in from everywhere, and I guess I've been guilty of waiting for my numbers to be overwhelming instead of merely enough. Your regiment here in Vendrian's Well is small, even by disfavored standards. This conquest has us spread thin. Every league we conquer must be held. I issued the call to assemble, but most of the cohorts remain trapped across the mountain. No bother won't be the first time I've had to do much with little. That's all. For the glory of Kairos. The Archon of War taps the haft of his maul to the ground for emphasis, then turns back to his map. He's pretty cool. Ooh, there's lootables. Heck yeah. Turquoise and an Earthshaker staff. Okay. And then a whetstone. Battle report from Echo Call Crossing blames the failure of the assault on the village of the Scarlet Chorus. Apparently, their scouts failed to report critical intelligence about the enemy composition. She says thank you. She's 4 to date. That's pretty old, huh? Nunu's like a year younger than Luna then. Wiggles is much older. Wiggles is like 5 years older. 8 days to Kairos' Day of Swords. Oh.
On the lookout.
God damn it.
I got it.
Look, a man named Kevius. Fatebinder Murdoch, am I right? I'm Kevius, Commander and 3rd generation disfavored. Specifically, I'm Kevius the Younger. Some folks can't keep track. The rank says Commander, but lately, I'm just organizing... Oh. Thank you. But lately, I'm just organizing patrols and trying to stay out of the way. You should talk to Iron Marshal if you have something official that needs discussion. Nunu has been returned to me. I presume that my parents' door was probably open and she probably jumped in there and was like, yo, I'ma fucking lick you. I know you're trying to sleep, but I'ma fucking lick you. You're always paranoid that Loon's about to die. Aw. Same, but with wiggles. What is it you need? Tell me about yourself. Not much to tell. My father was Kevius the Elder. His father was Kevius the First of his name, lead drill master of Ash's first Iron Guard, back when they were the Bronze Guard. I was born into the Legion, and with any hope, I'll die in the Legion. The rest you will hopefully hear about when the storyteller immortalized me. Bronze Guard. Well, his day and age was a century ago, and they didn't have Kairos' modern luxuries like iron, so back then the great general's inner council was known as the Bronze Guard. You should be proud of your pedigree. Does he has a house, Duke? What? thinks, but I try not to think about it too fondly. If anything, every time I screw something up, I wish I wasn't dragging the family name through the mud with me. Back to my other questions. The two armies haven't worked well together in years. What do you think that is? Come on, Binder. Seems like asking why beasts stink. The disfavored are only too eager to deliver Kairos' peace to the Tears, while the Scarlet Chorus bring only mayhem in their wake. You can tell me the Voices of Nerot has a plan, and I'll take your word for it, but the Chorus sure seems to blunder around, never moving with purpose as we do. I wonder if we've been fighting the same war soldier. I've seen Ash yank his precious soldiers away from more battles than he's won. If you want to call that progress, be my guest. Unless we find a way to work as one, I fear that the Scarlet Chorus will step in front of Graven Ash's strategies at every turn. As far as I'm concerned, it seems like the Voices of Nerot is here to amuse himself, while the rest of us are here to do our job. Why do you think the siege has delayed for so long? It should have been over real quick and simple. The first cohort arrived in the valley and went right for the kill. But that was before we knew the Vendrian god had sages and that water witch on their side. A bigger problem is the Scarlet Chorus. They eagerly conscript the Vendrian god, but I have no proof of this. But it seems they do very little to keep a watchful eye on these drafted Tearsmen. They're often sent out on patrol, and we suspect they use that opportunity to escape back to the Vendrian god. Every Chorus conscript has a choice: life under Kairos, or death under the army's boots. By all means, feel free to cut down those who choose the latter. We won't be offended. Oh, yeah, Desi does have a 6 months badge. She has a house. They all gift, hee hee. I have. Just so we don't mistake each other, I know that what I'm saying carries an implication of treachery. I'm not making a formal accusation before Tunon's agent. I'm just voicing my gut opinion on the matter. Overheard you asking the Earthshaker where their reinforcements have gone. Is that a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of the Earthshakers, was supposed to arrive with a group of his most competent slingers to help break the stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and that worries me. If you were at all inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. Where's your dignity, Northman? The Iron Legion doesn't need spellcasters. He snaps to salute. You do me proud, and would that I could agree with you with a full heart, but I can't ignore that mages are a critical asset of war. Grit and determination can shatter the most stubborn fortification, but mages can get the job done in half the time. I could lend a hand. Could you? I knew that Tunon's agent wouldn't fail us in a time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. Mwah. Right back at you, Desi. Who's this Barrick guy? Let's go talk to him. There's a lot of talking. You can't make out the ironclad soldier expression on his twisted helmet. He merely stares at you. There's a fletch with precision and care. Iron Marshal Irenios. You have to have your whiskers kissed without having to kiss someone else's, I guess. Ha. Don't just coddle the impact. Push back with your shield. Take the momentum. Iron Marshal Irenios field commander of the Disfavored, pounds her fist in the air as she calls out to the warriors in the training field. I said eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. Stormcaller, welcome to our camp. The Disfavored officer snaps to a salute. I'm sorry your arrival isn't for a better reason, but it's a pleasure to see you again all the same. It's reassuring to see that Tunon sends us a Fatebinder with the proper moral compass. You met the Iron Marshal in Stalwart. Oh. Stalwart as a grim war standard. Yeah. My stepdad was really stubbly and would always make us kiss him, and it grosses me out to this day when I get poked by stubbly. It's all I could think of, shake my head. I mean, not like lip kisses, but he'd hold us and make us accept his cheek kisses, even though we were not close like that, and it was strange. Oh.
It was mentioned that you're short on warriors and need help. What's the situation?
I have brigades amassing along Placid, Echo Called, and Little Tooth crossings. The Vendrian God may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concerted three-pronged attack. I have no right to give you orders, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we all die to Kairos' edicts should we fail. So I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help.
This is the second major attack on the river, correct? What happened last time?
Defeats in detail. We carved a bloody path up the river, but at that point, everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no chorus backup. It was just a few disfavored squads. I can't tell you exactly how they were defeated, but we lost the whole assault team. She shakes her head, letting out a loud pain sigh. We found bodies washing up in the river for days. It's not often the Tearsmen put up such a good fight. It certainly made us reevaluate the numbers we'll need to take this valley. Really? Are you sure our scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy, and you just chose to disregard our warnings? I think I missed. You absolutely did.
I'm sure the Disfavored would have heeded any such advice.
Maybe the next time we won't be so forthcoming. Let's see how many of your precious northern stock survived this war without our intelligence to back them up. Don't test me, Fury. This sort of talk gets us nowhere.
What's the value of taking the crossing?
We can't just march from here to the Citadel with the Vendrian Guard manning the riverbanks. Forwarding troops and supplies through even the narrowest points of the river makes us vulnerable to attack, especially since our armor wasn't built for swimming. She points north towards the mountain spire looming on the horizon. If we can take the river, we must have a clear march to the Citadel, and Ascension Hall will be ours in no time.
The Disfavored need my help?
Trying to pour salt on my pride. We left Fort Resolution with 100 on 100, and there have been no reinforcements or reserves. I keep throwing warriors back into battle before they're properly rested, so yes, I need to rely on all our allies, especially since most of our allies are conscripted Tearsmen, worse than useless. If the Disfavored didn't take every opportunity to insult the Scarlet Chorus, perhaps you'd find our help more forthcoming. Shut your snout, filthy mongrel. I won't suffer childish japes in my camp.
You speak out of turn and offend our host. Apologize.
You want me to what? She glares at you, but something in her expression reflects doubt. Fine. I
I should have kept my big mouth shut. I will assist. Then our plans just might work. The Iron Marshal lifts her gauntlet close to her face, shifting her eyes from you to the metal articulations. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we know that Tunon the Adjudicator selects only the most capable minds for his court, and I trust you will honor us all on the field. Antia will be leading the charge at Echo Call Crossing. Assisting you will be Barrack the Stone Shields. She points at a heavily armored soldier staying sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask, no, the Forgebound weren't sloshed on Dappleseed when they fitted his armor. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms, and this armor doesn't exactly come off. Tactically, it's quite brilliant, but otherwise, it's something of a curse. Tapping her helmet twice, Erinos signals to the hulking presence. Barrack, come meet the Fatebinder. Show titty? No. I can't do that on stream, and you know this. The soldier steps up to you, better resembles an amalgamation of rusted blades and mismatched pieces of armor, fused into vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatment keeps him flexible.
Fatebinder, the Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
An honor.
Likewise, good Binder.
The soldier heaves a heavy iron arm into his salute, his whole body clanging as he wraps his gauntlet against the twisted sheets of metal that form his breastplate.
Barrack, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
I guess I can do that, Sarah. I'll do that after the stream, since it's ending in like 20 minutes. I encountered Barrack in the Stalwart campaign, though he appears much changed. He's an excellent soldier.
You're generous to say so. I'm afraid I left the better part of myself on the killing fields of Stalwart, but it's still in my pride and honor to serve the Legion.
His voice falters. You can't tell if it's hesitation or regret that stalls him. The Fatebinder will be joining us for the push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help. And more importantly, if my worries come true, and the chorus tries to impede the mission, we'll have an observer from the court on our side.
I look forward to working with you again, especially after our time in Stalwart. You defended our honor to the Scarlet Chorus, and a friend of the Legion never goes unthanked.
Oh, yeah.
Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some chorus children.
He nods to you, his armor creaking as he bends his neck. I ask that Barrack accompany you, then to arbitrate the cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Barrack, you've been without a cohort since the last Battle of Stalwart. It's time we gave you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading training drills. She plants her hands on her hips and speaks in clipped official terms. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder's service. You're to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end to this war. Or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? Barrack regards the Iron Marshal with an impressive silence. That's an order, Barrack. She shakes her head and sighs, returning her focus to you. I don't think they'd believe me if I said Duke Titty are mine. What? Big Wonder Bra? I'm honored to have a member of the Iron Legion at my side.
Excellent. I look forward to your success on the field. Oh, damn. I have almost 4 fear with her. God damn. Apparently this guy doesn't fear much. I already have 2 points in loyalty. That's awesome. In any case, you. I want to be the tank. You can be the skirmisher. I assumed you meant you had much bigger titty than Duke. She probably does. I'm gonna go let Wiggles back in real fast. Oh, no, she's right here. They did let Wiggles back in. That's awesome. Don't have to do anything. Let's see. Gain a chance to attack enemies as they engage you. Ooh, that's always nice. Free attacks. Barrack becomes an intimidating force on the battlefield. Enemies nearby Barrack have their resolve reduced. Increase one-handed and two-handed melee weapon damage. Yep. Okay, I'm wanting defense. Increase the defensive benefits from shields. Ooh, slam your shield against the target, dazing them for a moderate duration. Causes thrust to interrupt the target, delaying their next attack. Ah, level 3, there's leadership abilities. Agility, range, magic, power, defense, leadership. So yeah, delaying their next attack. Because we have thrust. Yeah, could do that. Duke, if your titties are bigger than mine, we're gonna have a problem. Why would we have a problem? Slams your shield against the target, dazing them for a moderate duration. That's a maybe. I kind of like the shield mastery, which is just like, you know, passives are great. Passives are always going to be some of the best things you can get because it's just, you don't have to activate, you just have it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the passive. Not jealousy problems, but how problems. That is also fair. Oh, okay. Huh. I see. Okay. Let's prioritize... Could prioritize health. What does Resolve do? Resolve was the... Right. Endurance, will, and magic defense. Right. What is my health? 127. Ah, yours is also 127, I see. You tell him, Wiggles. Yeah, you tell him. Blah, blah, blah. Tell you what hurts your back so bad. We'll do more vitality for this first one. And then let's up something. I want to up my parry. Or actually, hold on. What does this do? I don't know what that does. Okay, I see. I'm seeing how things work. +1 resolve from the Age of Execution. I see. We're gonna give you extra resolve. There you go. Cool. I'd be happy to be born an average titty girl or even small. Small titties are cutesy.
I got it.
Fresh straw in the corner of this prison called cell absorbs much of the stench. Too huge, and they're just heavy, and gravity ruins your entire life. Oofles. A shield! A shield! A shield! What does it do? Plus 8 to parry. Okay, okay. Well, my Sun Soldier's shield is currently giving me a plus 16. This is giving me... Oh, well, I presume that it's just base stats that's showing. So it's like if I equip this, I'll probably have higher numbers than in actuality. Yeah, it's got a plus 24 to parry. Handful is all you really need. I agree, pain. But some people have bigger hands. What do you do in those situations, Zara? What do you do? Is this an improvement to his armor? Not really. Oh, well, he's also locked into his armor because it's bound to him. So, you know, details. Details. Let's sell this then. Isotonus. Light leather helm. 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 Is this an improvement to your shit? Actually, hold on. Hang to bed, Desi. Okay. Have a good night. Mwah. Right back at you. Take care of yourself. Pleasant dreams and all that. Plus 3 accuracy. Yeah, no, it's got better stats. There we go. Ha, it looks stupid on you. Let's hide it.
Sorry.
Isotonus curses the air as a blade of thin iron breaks in half beneath his hammer. Repairing weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into this craft. My supplies are spent. He wipes his sweat from his brow and gets a better look at you. Why not forge bronze? Bronze will do in a pinch. Don't get me wrong. Can't take a beating and get bent back into shape. Unlike this stubborn iron we have here. He glances at a pile of his work with dread. And we always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military-grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. I stay up with Duke for all of 8 minutes. 7 now. Yeah! 6 now. Look around camp. We're garbing the Legion head to toe in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do that with bronze. It looks Barrick up and down. Of course, some of us go overboard from time to time. They call the disfavored the Iron Legion for a reason. Strategy and skill may be our backbone, but our claws are made of iron. The good stuff that comes from the smiths of Lethian's Crossing. You mentioned an iron shortage. I'm afraid so. The last shipment sent down the Matani went missing near Echo Call Crossing. I'm afraid we won't be seeing any more now that the valley is sealed. Forge-bound iron is Tunon's responsibility. Why is this the first time I'm hearing of it? Keep your voice down. Isotonus flinches and lowers his own. Graven Ash doesn't want to cause a panic or pass the information to the Vendrian god. Best case scenario, the iron tumbled off a boat and is rusting on a riverbed. Worst case, ends up in enemy hands. I've been instructed to aid in operation in Echo Call. I'll keep an eye out for your shipment. I appreciate that.
That's just the great general, more than you might guess. Maybe he isn't quick to offer this thanks to outsiders, but I know he'll be grateful for your help. It would be a boon to the war effort if our iron was recovered. You can trust me to handle this. I knew that Tunon wouldn't have dispatched you without good reason. The court isn't exactly known for gambling when the stakes are high. He glances at a crate beside him and points to a small set of notches on the wood. You see that? That is how we tell apart our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You want to keep your eye out for these. Good hunting. Need something else? You look like a competent fighter. Why aren't you swinging that hammer into the enemy's face? With that Ash and the Legion gave me the opportunity. During our training at Fort Resolution, I demonstrated some skill with the craftsman's hammer. Now whenever there's arms or armor to be mended and no forge bound in attendance, they look to me. He huffs and wipes a line of sweat from his brow, which is often. I like to see your wares. Okay, he's got some staffs. Anything in here is worth selling. Okay, I wish I could see. Oh, there's the comparison. Armor quality 2, whereas the rogue's leather is more. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Get some armor, but actually, is this armor better? This armor. Yeah, this armor is actually better. Well, yeah. No more onesie. I'm sorry. I have to keep the onesie. It's better armor. It's just better. We'll come across better armor before long. I'm sure of it. Oathbound helm. Oh. Oh. I'll hold off on upgrading the helmet.
Dad.
There we go.
On it.
Did I sell a scroll? I may have sold a scroll. And if that's the case, that is my bad. Okay, Captain Sunshine. Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows all the time. 9 damage. Accuracy is 12, though. Huh. Its DPS is worse, but everything else is better. It's more likely a hit. Go ahead and equip it. Minor parrying. That one has minor accuracy. This one has minor. Oh. Let's switch it then. Let's do that. That's accuracy. Yeah. So. Yeah, I want because their whole thing is that they attack a lot. So, you want things that will hit, or I should say, I want things that will hit as often as possible if we're gonna have a party member that's just attacking a shitload. Awesome, but it is about that time, so I am going to go ahead and save. That was my test run. I'll go ahead and save, and we can end the stream here. So, thank you everyone that showed up. It was nice having y'all. Remember, do not text and drive, do not drink and drive. 10 2 people, 10 and 2, and happy days and sunshine ahead. And if you are heading to bed, pleasant dreams and all that. I hope to see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. I am not going to worry about raiding anyone since we are pretty low on people, so we'll just kind of ignore that. And hopefully, tomorrow goes well, and I will be here in order to play more of this. So, I will see you guys then. Until then, just do your best. Take care of yourselves. you know, all that stuff. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Do it, Sarah. You got this.